Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
I'm calling because I have a net worth of negative $280,000 after a vendor in my business filed for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy after we did a job that we were expecting to get paid around $2.4 million. I'm calling to see because I've always been in business, never really held a real job, and I'm trying to see if bankruptcy is a good option because I can either take on more debt because it's a low margin business to continue to do these piping jobs, or I can figure out how to work off a large amount of debt. I have around $330,000 in personal debt and $50,000 across 6 months of living expenses, my '09 Ford F-150, and a Roth IRA.
Okay, so I'm sorry, $2.3 million and you were $280,000 in debt is not low margin, that's high margin.
I'm sorry, the job cost $2.1 million. I spent all the liquidity that I had and in the business to try to.
Oh, so you put $2.1 million on the table to make 2.2, to make $100,000.
To make 2.4.
Oh,
and
to make $200,000.
The margin is it's like 17%
with no draws
margin.
And no deposits.
Yes, I personally lost $2.1 million completing this job. It's 17% margin if you don't include credit card points. With credit card points, it's around 18.5% to 19% margins.
Okay, but you did not take a single draw or get a deposit of any kind from this customer.
No, they're filing Chapter 7 right now.
I know, but you were their bank. I mean, how many of these jobs have you done like this where you put all your chips on the table and then one hand comes up bad? This is the first time a hand came up bad, or this is the biggest one you've done?
No, it's happened before, but with smaller. It happened before with a much smaller job, but I was aware that the company, this company had very good credit, and we took most of the
how old are you?
To be paid at then because they were I'm 23.
Okay. All right.
So it sounds like I should just probably. I mean, I'm very much in the faith. I was like, okay, it makes the most sense here to declare bankruptcy instead of taking on more debt and continuing to do the business or trying to work this off.
So most of your other jobs were smaller jobs. How did you start? How did you start with no money?
I was just the person who bid the smallest amount of money on jobs. And so probably the industry standard for margins is a lot like 25 to 30%.
Yeah, and the industry standard is you don't be the bank for contractors. That's the industry standard. You get draws as the job progresses.
It was a very large aeronautics company.
The industry standard is you don't do that crap because you go bankrupt when they go bankrupt if you do. That's the problem. You had bad business practices. And I don't want you to extend those going forward. So I've had trouble with collections, and when I have trouble with collections, I blame me, and I change the terms. I'll give you an example. A long time ago, before you were born, there was a thing called the .com bubble. The first time the internet took off in around the year 2000, okay? And there was this huge bubble, and all these .coms were buying ads from us, and then they were going broke. And so I figured that out. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. So if .com is in the name of your business and you want to advertise on the Ramsey Show, to this day, you prepay. I'm not going to be your stupid bank because you're not dependable if .com's in the name of your company. And so you figured out here that sometimes this crap happens, and so you'll never do this business this way again. There's no amount of business is worth putting everything on the line for it. You did learn that lesson, didn't you?
Of course.
Good. Okay. I'm just making sure. So then we say, how can you go make money? What is your fastest way to go make good money again? Because obviously you're a high capacity 23-year-old. You've done amazing things for somebody your age, even though you stepped in a big old bear trap and it ripped your leg off. But you still did amazing things. And so
I would have to.
What's the best way? What's the best way for you to go make the most money the quickest?
I'd have to take out more debt.
Okay. Maybe we're not listening.
Probably.
All right. Let's try again. We're not borrowing money to run the business has not been a blessing to you, sir.
Correct.
Okay. So we're going to say we're going to run a business with this huge brain of yours without borrowing money. What is the fastest way for you to go make money? You're entrepreneurial genius.
Even though often, okay, I understand. I have trouble because I'm new to the business. I've been in business for about 1.5 to. I started 2 years ago, but
I'm not shocked.
I had my first employee.
Thank God you didn't start 10 years ago. You'd have been 14. Okay, yeah. So
how did you get $2 million?
Right. We always were the lowest. We didn't bid the lowest below other low bidders, but
you did a bunch of jobs and you made money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And oftentimes, even like they'll pay for half the job up front, but it's still what?
Yeah. There we go. Now we're talking.
Okay. But that's not enough to complete the full. Like I'd have to ask for.
Well, if you're the low, I'll give you guys the low bid if you will not make me also be your bank.
Okay. If
you will put money up front, we'll order the materials and get the people on the job, and then I need a draw as we go along, so that I'm and the profit you can pay me at the end, but you got to cover my costs with cash flow as we go along. 1 or 2 draws on the job. And so on. That's not unusual in the construction business. I'm sitting in a couple of buildings here, 600,000 square foot under roof. 100% of this was cash flowed by me, not the contractor. Every 2 weeks, we would sit down and have a payment schedule as to the work that had been done, and we paid them, and then they paid the bill. They did not bank any of this.
Right. I have some concern about my reputation not being large enough for people to be willing to pay a significant portion up front.
How many jobs did you do to get $2 million?
What's that?
How many jobs did you complete to get that first $2 million in 2 years?
I've done about 30 jobs.
Okay, you can't find 29 other people besides the one that just screwed you? You can't find 29 other people to say this guy's good?
Of course you can.
That would vouch for you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Your reputation is much better than you think. You're 21 years old. You earned $2 million in 2 years. That's astounding.
And so if you only earn $500,000 in the next 18 months profit, you pay off the $280 and you have a really nice life because you do 1/4 the number of jobs on our new payment schedule that we just laid out. You can't get as many jobs. Maybe your reputation is tarnished by this. Maybe not. But somebody believed in you, Jeremy, and I think you need to believe in you again. I think you did a lot of things smart. You did 2 things dumb. One is you believed debt was your way up, and 2 is you bet the farm on one company because they were a fancy-pantsy aeronautics place, and you found out fancy-pantsy places go broke too. And
I also have to believe that your reputation that you think you have
is non-existent.
Is a group of wiser construction folks that took advantage of you. And it felt good. They patted you on the back, but they knew they were taking advantage of you because they know the game. And it wouldn't surprise me if somebody Chapter 7 their way around paying you back because they knew they could roll over on you and not lose their future ability to hire other contractors. And so this thing that you think is your best bet, is your best attribute, I bet was used against you.
Could have been. Yeah. You can pay this back because you have high capacity. Why Refi? Refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.